Central Visayas, designated as Region 7, is a region of the Philippines located in the central part of the Visayas Island Group. It consists of 4 provinces: Bohol, Cebu, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor, and the highly urbanized cities of Cebu City, Lapu-Lapu City, and Mandaue City. The region is dominated by the native speakers of Cebuano. Central Visayas is the second smallest region in the Philippines with a total land area of 14,923 square kilometers. This constitutes about 5% of the country's land area. Central Visayas is one of the 8 anchor tourist destinations in the country and one of the super regions in the Visayas which strength is tourism. Region 7 is among the most developed and the 4th largest regional economy in the country, and Central Visayas hosts many industries, including footwear, ICT and IT-enabled services, electronics, wearable, food processing, marine, houseware, and furniture, among others. Cebu is based over 80% of inter-island shipping capacity in the Philippines. And also Cebu offers a wide range of world-class amenities such as luxury hotels, beach resorts, first-class restaurants, and golf courses. The major sectors are agriculture, fishery, industry, and tourism. The main agricultural products are corn, rice, mango, coconut, banana, and peanut. The main marine products are tuna, lapu-lapu, sardine, flying fish, prawn, and crab. The industry includes not only traditional furniture and handcrafts manufacturing, and advanced high-tech sector which has major export products as watch, semiconductor, camera, and electrical equipment, and many more. Bohol is taking off to become the region's prime agricultural tourist destination and agro-industrial center. Investment areas in the identified special economic zone are focused on ecotourism, light industries, and agro-industrial development. Agriculture is the main source of economic activity in Bohol, with a greater number of its people engaged in farming and fishing. It is Bohol's major industry occupying most of its vast tracts of land. The fish sanctuary strategically located around Bohol contributed to high fishery yield. The primary industry in the province is agriculture, with primary crops such as corn, rice, coconut, and sugarcane. Meanwhile, in coastal areas, fishing is considered as the main source of livelihood. In other parts of the province, people are involved in fish ponds, cattle ranches, logging, and mineral deposit digs. Negros Oriental is one of the emerging technological centers for the BPO industry in the country, and has thus led to the boost of its economy. Despite the rugged terrain, agriculture is still the predominant sectors in the province, and some 13,600 hectares are under agriculture cultivation. The major crops are corn, coconut, cassava, rice, rubber, mango, and jackfruit. The main export products are copra, knitting craft, toy, and garment. There are 18,000 hectares of forest land with a rather high production of timber. The fishery output is relatively big, with not only fish farms on the sea, but also fresh water and marsh fish ponds. Here are the ways to go to Central Visayas from MNL. If you're traveling by plane, they have Mactan Cebu International Airport, Tagbiliran City Airport, and Dumaguete Airport. But if you're gonna travel using ferry, they also have Cebu International Port, Tagbiliran City Tourist Pier, Larena and Siquijor Ports, and Dumaguete Ports.
Here are some attractions in the provinces of Region 7. Let's start in Bohol. On the island of Bohol, in the Philippines, an expanse of otherworldly cones look like ruins from a lost civilization, but the chocolate hills, formed naturally over millions of years. They change appearance over the course of each year as well. Lush in the rainy season, the vegetation dries in summer, imparting the golden brown hue that gives them name. People compare the hills to giant Hershey's Kisses. Some 1,700 mounds extend across 20 square miles, rising as high as 400 feet. Geologic processes lifted the rock and water slowly eroded it. Similar processes carved limestone around the world, but the Chocolate Hills combination of shape and uniformity makes them unique. Next is Cebu, the main center of commerce, trade, education, and industry in Visayas region. It is also has become the one of the most popular destination in Philippines among local and foreign tourists who are looking to experience cultural heritage sites, majestic waterfalls, great food, and spectacular beaches. One of the most popular destinations here in Cebu is Bantayan Island. It is a place where you can find calmness and serenity in spite of the numerous tourists who travel there every day. Once you step out of your boat and walk to Bantayan's fine white sand, you'll be welcomed by fresh air and crashing waves of its clear blue waters that become a perfect harmony, letting you hear the sound of nature. Because of this, Bantayan is considered one of the most beautiful places in Cebu. Next is Siquijor. Siquijor is a beautiful, small, somewhat off the beaten path island in the Philippines, located right under Cebu. White beaches, crystal clear waters for swimming, majestic waterfalls, super friendly locals, and stunning drives. One of the famous destinations here is Cambugahay Falls, a stunning waterfall divided into 3 levels, all including an enormous pool. The main pool has a couple of rope swings that will make it even more fun to spend some hours here. Located in the town of Lassi, Cambugahay Falls, Siquijor is considered as one of the most beautiful waterfalls in the Philippines. The Siquijor Falls is a sure hit for tourists because of its turquoise clean and warm water originating from natural springs. Its water will invite you to plunge in the moment you see it. If you want a more thrilling experience, jump on the cliff there or dive into the waters using the swing. Next is Negros Oriental. With a rich culture and proud history, this Visayan province has a lot more to offer. From cuisines that tease the taste buds, to iconic landmarks filled with stories, to the warm, cheerful nature of its people, Negros Oriental can charm anyone into staying without a doubt. Here's the one of the famous attraction here, the Manjuyod Sandbar. The Manjuyod Sandbar is another beautiful place to visit in Negros Oriental, a long and wide stretch of sandbar that completely disappears on high tide. Manjuyod Sandbar is a perfect destination for families or group of friends, but also a romantic place for couples. During low tide, one can witness the vast expanse of beautiful sandbar where starfish and seashells show up, and then it will be transformed into a white crystal clear waters on high tide, a very alluring and spoiled beach. There are around 5 cottages on the sandbar that seems like floating cottages during high tide. Manjuyod Sandbar is being dubbed as the Maldives of the Philippines. Famous cuisine. Sutukil. Sutukil stands for 3 methods of cooking in Visayas region. Su means sugba or to grill. Tu came from the Cebuano word tula, which means to stew the food, and kil stands for kilawin or cooking fish in vinegar. Here are some famous cuisine in Region 7.
Here are some festivals in Region 7. Let's start in Bohol. One of the festivals in Bohol is the Sandugo Festival. It is an annual historical celebration that takes place every year in Tagbiliran City on the island of Bohol in the Philippines. This festival commemorates the Treaty of Friendship between Dato Sicatuna, a chieftain in Bohol, and Spanish conquistador Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. The Sandugo Festival celebrates a blood pact between a local chieftain and a Spanish captain. It lasts for a whole month and encompasses street dancing, shows, trade fairs, beauty contests, and other activities. Next is Cebu. Sinulog Festival or Santo Niño Festival is an annual religious and cultural festival in Cebu. The festival is thought to be the first of the most well-known festivals in the Philippines. It is an annual cultural and religious festival held on the 3rd Sunday of January in Cebu City and on the 4th Sunday of January in Carmen, Cebu, and is the center of Santo Niño Catholic celebration in the Philippines. Next is Sikihor, the Bugwas Festival. It is celebrated on the last week of August. The festival is San Juan's way of celebrating a bountiful and abundant harvest in honor of their patron, Saint Augustine. Bugwas means a sport of water coming from an underground source which flows freely in the open ground. Next is Negros Oriental, the Buglasan Festival. It is also known as the Festival of Festivals. It is one of the most awaited festivals in Negros Oriental. It is celebrated annually in Dumaguete City, the capital of the province, in the middle of October since 2002. It is a provincial event wherein all the municipalities, cities, and towns of Negros Oriental province become one. It is actually a unique celebration because it is a gathering of almost all the people in the province.
Major cultural groups: Tagalog, Cebuanos, Boholanos.
SWOT.
Strength. Central Visayas is one of the 8 anchor tourist destinations in the country and one of the super regions in the Visayas with strength is tourism. Region 7 is among the most developed and the 4th largest regional economy in the country. Central Visayas hosts many industries including footwear, ICT and IT-enabled services, electronics, wearables, food processing, marine, houseware, and furniture, among others. Weaknesses: competitive market, small business units, high loan rates are possible, future debt rating, cost structure. While it is in itself already a vibrant economic region with export-oriented industries, marketable tourist destinations, well connected to the region via air and sea transport and superior design culture, Region 7 still has to address its concerns with low productivity, the lack of full and decent employment, job mismatch, high cost of doing business, quality of intermodal transport infrastructure, underutilization of FTA, weak industry networks, reviving the agricultural sector, and providing adequate and stable power supply.
Exploit the fact that their beaches and some other places is famous and is well known throughout the country. Change the perception that their places is just another ordinary, and it is capitalized on the fact that foreigners flock to this island. Threats: other beaches offer the same activities as they have. Overpopulation during season depletes the island of its resources. Tourists who litter cigarette butts and other drugs pollute the coastlines and poison the ecosystem.
You will not just witness its beautiful pristine white beaches with clear blue waters, rich marine life and white corals, offer some of the world's best scuba, snorkeling, and diving sites, but region's provinces enable visitors a glimpse of a rich history and tradition as well as culture and a quite number of festivals.
The region is dominated by the native singer. Sabayan. Yes. Philippine located. Philippines. Yes.
Next is Negros Oriental. Negros. Hi! To iconic landmarks filled with stories, to the warm, cheerful nature of its people, Negros Occidental and charm. And yung, hindi Occidental, Oriental talaga.